Hello everyone, this is Gabriel from Third Eyes here, and today I want to talk about COVID-19. As a collective, we're all feeling it. I think Singapore is doing really well. We're coping really well. We have enough hospital beds. The government has really put in a lot of measures, and our medical and healthcare system is really coping with the situation rather well. But I think I'm still feeling a lot of heaviness. Just reading from the news, just reading about COVID-19 all over the world, how Italy is being locked down, how medical and healthcare systems all over the world are overtaxed, and a lot of people are dying because the healthcare systems are not able to cope with the pandemic. So in that sense, I'm quite upset and frustrated, and I just feel a sense of heaviness. My friends in Italy and UK and Portugal and everyone is affected, their livelihoods are affected. But I guess the most important thing is we are all safe. At least at the moment, none of us are sick. We're healthy. There is an inexplicable sadness, worry, and an upset for the human population. There are days when I ask myself, what if, we as a human species, we can't make it, and then I realize it's rubbish because, we as a collective, we're more resilient than that. Astrologers have talked about it since last year. So the planet Jupiter and Saturn, this year, it's conjoining in an air sign, and it's going to happen at the end of the year. So what happens is that he hasn't been in the air sign for the longest time, and this is the definitive year when the conjunction, the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction, will permanently move from the earth signs into the air sign. Because from here on, from this year onwards, the conjunction will only happen in air sign for 200 years. The idea is that whenever there's a shift from an element to the next, there's always some kind of pandemic that happened. The last time something like that happened, it was the plague and tuberculosis, etc. So, astrologers have been talking about this. Most of us thought that, okay, from earth to air sign, maybe it won't be a pandemic, maybe it would be more like a disease of misinformation, because air sign, is related to information. So while there is a possibility that it could be airborne diseases that became like a pandemic, most of us bank on the fact that it's probably going to be misinformation. But yeah, it's not misinformation, it's an actual airborne pandemic. I guess what's coming up for me is, as a collective, what are we going to do about it? And I don't know. I think we're all containing it in a way that needs to be done, that needs to be contained. Stay home orders, quarantine, lockdown, these are great measures. But the question is, beyond that, what else can we do other than exercising responsibility? Anyway, as a spiritual practitioner, as an energy worker, as a light worker, I would like to do my part, and I think what I can do is to channel and receive a message for all of us with regards to the COVID-19 situation. What are the bigger lessons behind all of these for humanity, and if there's a guidance for us as individuals, what can we do about it? So, I'm gonna channel. Got my crystals ready. So, the first image that I'm seeing is like a balloon. The image looks a little bit cartoon-ish, just normal round balloon. And the sense that I get from this is remain optimistic. When we think about balloon, we associate it with the idea of joy. But this balloon isn't joyful. The balloon looks a little bit dull, but I'm reminded that it is still a balloon nonetheless. So for some reason, this reminds me of the planet Jupiter. Jupiter in astrology is about optimism, it's about growth and expectation and expansion. And the sense I get about this balloon seems to remind me of the current position of where Jupiter is right now. So Jupiter changes a sign about every year. And right now, Jupiter is in the sign of pessimistic Capricorn. In traditional astrology, Jupiter in Capricorn is in its fall, so it's not a great position for Jupiter to be in. And the sense I get from this so far is that, Jupiter is still Jupiter. The function of Jupiter is to grow, is to expand. So no matter how grim things to be, Jupiter must grow. And the sense I get is that it doesn't really matter how grim and dire things are right now. There is something positive about this situation that perhaps collectively we are not looking at. This is something that we as the collective have to go through in order to grow. And now I'm looking at the balloon right now, and the balloon feels a little bit grayish, steel-like, like metallic. It's like a metal balloon, right? So it feels like a kind of growth that's structured and that's solid. And the sense I get is that there is some kind of passover coming. This is like a bridge that bridges from one milieu to another. It's not the most positive looking bridge, but there is growth in the human consciousness and the human collective. I'm also getting a sense that Jupiter and the various other signs are like the balloons in different color. The grayish metallic color for the balloon happens to be the color that doesn't look the best for what a balloon is supposed to look like. Because balloons are supposed to be colorful. So I'm also getting a sense that the situation will go grimmer, but there is something about it at the end that we can look forward to as a collective. And the sense that I get is that by December, when Jupiter and Saturn conjoin the sign of Aquarius at the end of the year, we are ready for that shift. And that's when all this grim thing, it will start to end. And here's a reminder that this is not good or bad, it's just what it is. We will look at this differently, and we will understand why this shift is necessary. It's almost like this adversity forces us to grow in a way through some kind of hard knocks. And I'm reminded that just like the steel color of the balloon, the resilience of the human population, the resilience of the human species is going to show up. We will become stronger than before. We have and we will start to see how we are all interconnected. We need each other more than we think, and it's time to band together to move forward and onward, rather than play the blame game, to play the win-lose game of you need to lose in order for me to win. Now we're going to start to actually think about, okay, how can we as collective start to play win-win? Because when we play win-lose, nobody actually wins. It becomes about how can I lose less than you? How can I make you lose more than me? I also get a sense that there are a lot of eternal beings doing a close watch onto the human population, the human species, but they are nonetheless rooting for us, setting guidance for us. Well, the guidance is really simple. Work together as a collective, take care of each other. We can't depend on an angel or a Christ-like figure to swoop in and just save us. We can't expect miracle. The miracle is us. We are the miracle that needs to happen. We as a collective, we must start to take care of each other. We must start to wake up. We are the Christ and the angels and the Buddhas that we need to save the collective. And that starts with you and me and all of us individually. Sure, we will be bruised all over, but we will prevail as a collective. And I also get a sense that this is all planned. It's happening right now because we as a collective, we are ready to move forward and move onward to the next evolution phase. I don't know about you, but after the channeling session, after receiving these energy, I actually feel a lot better. But in the meantime, let's soldier on and let's just take heart and yeah, let's fight this together as a collective. Alright? Okay, so this is Gabriel from the Third Eyes here, and I will be signing off. So I'll see you again. Bye!